Hey everybody, this is She Never Misses, and today we have a video for you that I've been meaning to make for a long time, and here to help me with it is my brother. Say hello.
Yo.
Yeah. So, I spend a lot of my personal time on YouTube watching cosplay videos and fan things because I have no life. And yes, but you're also a nerd. Anyway, I watch a lot of those things, and a lot of the fandoms I'm in are kind of old. Most of them are cartoon-based. A lot of them don't have a lot of things added to them every week, so I found myself watching more and more cosplay channels and fan people that I watch talking about and doing skits about and cosplay music videos and other things for My Hero Academia, which is like the most popular thing going on right now in that community. And I have seen so much of that, I think, that I know a decent amount about at least the first 3 seasons of the show just from watching other people talk about it in the format of skits and other things. Now, I'm not going to say everything that I've picked up is correct, because a lot of it definitely is not, because I haven't seen a single episode of the show. My brother has been trying to get me to watch it also, so I said that I would. I've wanted to for a little while anyway, but I would only agree to do it after I've already listed everything that I've been able to come up with myself without the extra help. So we're in my basement, and we're going to do that today. Yeah, he's going to hold up some pictures of characters and ask me what I know about them, ask me whatever questions he feels like, and we'll see what I get that's right, what I get that's wrong, what I just don't know, etc. So, let's get started.
Okay, so, who is this green-haired fellow in the front?
That is Izuku Midoriya. He is the main character. His hero name is Deku. They call their superpowers quirks, and his is the same as the hero All Might. He got it from eating a piece of his hair somehow. I don't know how that works or why that works, but that's what I've heard. He's the main character, kind of happy-go-lucky sort of guy. Has an overprotective mother. No one knows where his father is, but apparently he breathes fire, was mentioned at some point. Someone talked about in a video. The one time that someone mentioned him, they said that he, breathes fire or something. I'm not sure if that's true, but his dad isn't in the picture. He's the main character. He got his quirk from the main, his idol, and no one's supposed to know about that, I think.
Okay, and do you know what made All Might choose him to be the successor?
I'm gonna imagine I think that people were talking about, in one video I watched, some goop monster stole Bakugo, and he saved him or something, or tried to save him and couldn't because he didn't have powers. I think it had something to do with saving his angry friend.
Okay, and now let's go to this angry friend. Who is the spiky-haired man scowling at the people?
I can't see him because your thumb's in the way, but I do know who you're talking about. That's Bakugo. His individual name is Katsuki. And he sweats nitroglycerin so he can make things explode. He's a ball of anger. He and Deku were friends when they were kids. And when Deku tried to stand up to him for making fun of other kids or doing something bullying to other kids because his powers came in early and he was always kind of an arrogant prick, he got really mad about it, and they haven't been friends in a long time, but Deku hasn't given up on being friends with him, even though he just wishes he would get out of his face. And they both want to be #1 hero. They both idolize All Might. And I think that his mother's name is Mitsuki.
Okay, now, who is the kid with the scar on his face and the red hair?
Zuko Part 2? Oh yeah, that's, yeah, that's Todoroki. His individual name is Shoto. He has that scar because his mom hit him with a kettle, or burned him with water from a kettle, something like that. Very traumatic. He has 2 quirks. He has a fire quirk and an ice quirk, and it takes him like at least half the show to use the fire quirk because he hates his dad so much, even though his mom's the one that burned him. But his dad's kind of a prick, so I guess that makes sense. He is a quiet type and doesn't always talk the most. He's in the Deku squad. And Deku helps him out with his issues rather often. Yeah. He also, the rest of his family's screwed up. I think his mom's in an asylum. His dad was number 2 pro hero before All Might retired. And so now I think he's number 1 hero, but I'm not sure. And he has 4 siblings. There's Toya, who is missing. Fuyumi or something.
I don't even know that.
And Natsuo, who are all older than him.
Okay, now for the first girl that we'll be picking out, who is the pink-skinned and pink-haired one?
Her name is Mina. She's friends with Bakugo. She has a cool outfit.
What does the outfit look like?
It's got like splotches all over it and like fur at the collar. I think her quirk has something to do with acid, but I'm not entirely sure. She usually just appears sometimes in the background as part of the Baku squad, but I don't... Yeah, I imagine she's kind of a brash girl, considering she hangs out with him. So, her name is Mina. Yeah, and she's pink.
Okay, so we're gonna hop over to the villains real quick. Who is the handman in the front?
Shigaraki, whose individual name is Tomura, I think. If he touches you with all 5 fingers, like, or anything with all 5 fingers, it'll disintegrate. Kind of scary. In videos I've seen, well, he seems to be the one that's in charge of them, like, mostly. Videos I've seen, people have him, when he's just chilling around, he kind of scratches, like, meth addict sometimes. And he has a lot of hands, but he doesn't always have all the hands. Sometimes he just has one hand, like, stuck on his forehead, and then he has more, like, depending on the situation. Some people depict him with a raspy voice, so I imagine his voice might be kind of raspy, and he's just a creep.
So, do you know who his master is, and what his powers are?
Well, I know that I've heard in a few videos someone mention someone called Stain. Like, they're all in trying to emulate Stain. And I'm not sure if that's the villain who hurt All Might the way he is. I've heard, but I know that they were talking about trying to emulate Stain and how in his villain philosophy. I also heard that his hand is his father, which is, I don't know if that is real at all, but I have heard multiple times that his hand is his father, or it's his father's hand, like one of them is his father. I don't know, I've heard something about the hands and father, but I don't know if any of those things are true.
Okay, and when was the first time that him and his villain squad, the League of Villains, attacked Class 1A?
I don't know when they attacked them first, but I imagine it was within the first few episodes of the series to, you know, make themselves known, but I don't know when they first attacked the school.
Okay, and Shigaraki's biggest catalyst for trying to, you know, cause chaos in the world is Midoriya's teacher, and who is he, what is his powers, and how did he get it? Oh,
he's peeking out of the picture right there. His well, Midoriya's mentor and person he got his powers from is All Might. He has something called One for All, which is like super strength. And the other stuff, like, I've only seen them depict the strength part, but I imagine it's more than just super strength. But, what was the rest of the question?
How did he get his power?
Well, I don't know how All Might got it. He might have been born. Usually these people seem to be born with their quirks, but since Midoriya got his from eating a piece of All Might's hair, I imagine All Might might have gotten it from eating someone else's hair at some point, if that is actually true. It seems really weird, but it might be a thing. Yeah, sorry if you can hear any background noise, by the way. But, yeah, I imagine those might be why he got his powers, but no one's mentioned it in any of the videos that I've seen. So the third part of the question.
And who is the teacher of Class 1A?
That's Aizawa. I think his individual name is Shota. Oh, I also know that All Might's real name is Toshinori Yagi. But Aizawa's hero name is Eraserhead. And he is kind of, well, if he looks at you, your power doesn't work. So at least that's how I think his quirk works. And he seems to be kind of like reserved, tired all the time, just kind of not really into life a lot. Kind of a downer, but also really smart and kind of a badass, so you don't want to screw with him.
Okay, and who is the one in the middle with the glasses?
That's Tenya Ida. He is like vice president or president of the student body, like council. His family is rich because they're like hero agents or something like that. He has a brother named Tensei who's dating Midnight, maybe, and is paralyzed for reasons that I don't know. And that's why Tenya wants to be a hero. He has engines in his legs. Yeah, and is really sticklery about rules and things.
Okay, and now for the one that is to the right of Midoriya and just below Ida.
That's Ochako, Uraka. She has anti-gravity powers. If she touches things, they float. And she's the love interest, but they don't talk about that very much. She's a very sweet girl, I imagine. And I think her hero outfit was like pink. Part of it was pink. I don't know what she picked her hero name to be, but yeah, she seems pretty nice.
And just a quick little tidbit. Who was the first person that she fought in the tournament arc?
Someone mentioned that in a video. It wasn't him. That one fought himself. The one that looks like him. Is it Bakugo? I feel like it might have been Bakugo. Oh, also, he wanted his hero name to be Lord Explosion Murder, but they won't let that fly.
Okay, and going to the right of her, who is the girl with the green hair?
Her name is Sue. Her hero name is Froppy. I don't know what the other part of her name is. She has frog powers for some reason. She seems pretty smart. She's hangs out more with the people who associate with Deku than the people who associate with Bakugo. She seems kind of like a little bit of an outcast, though, in the videos that I've seen. She's not really included in a lot of things. People think she's weird, but she's pretty cool anyway.
Okay, and who is the the only female villain in the League of Villains so far.
Yeah. That's Toga. Himiko Toga. Her quirk is like if she has your blood, she can turn into you, but she can't emulate your powers, so I feel like that quirk would kind of be negated very easily, but apparently she doesn't use it very often. She's crazy and likes knives, and she has a crush on Deku. And yeah, I also know that she and some of the other villains also kidnapped Bakugo at one point. Yeah, and that he really hates talking about that.
Okay, and who is the spiky-haired blonde teacher at UA?
That's President Mike. He, his quirk is like screaming loud, hence his name. And he seems like, some people think he's the traitor of UA. I know that some people think he's the traitor of UA. And some people have said in videos that he teaches English class, but like, I don't know if that's true or just something they made up. Or maybe he teaches like, in Japan, he teaches like Japanese or something, and then teaches English over here, but teaches language, potentially, also a pro hero. Yeah.
Did you already say his quirk?
Yeah, screaming.
Okay, and another one of Class 1A, who is the red-haired guy under Bakugo with the spiky hair?
That's Kirishima. I think his other name starts with an E. It's like Ejiro or something. Something with an E. His quirk is that his skin like hardens it into like, I don't know how hard it is, but that's his quirk, and it's kind of weird. He's Bakugo's new best friend, but he's a lot nicer than he is. Bakugo sometimes calls him shitty hair, I think. And he has a scar over one of his eyes because when he got his quirk, he was in so much pain that he just scratched his face. But yeah, he's a lot more pleasant than Bakugo, even though they're friends.
Okay, and rounding off the people at the bottom of this picture, who is the purple ball kid?
Mineta, he's a creep, creeps on girls a lot, and is really annoying. I don't know what his quirk is. It probably has something to do with the purple balls on his head. Maybe he bounces. Like, I don't know. All I just know is he's really annoying and nobody likes him.
Okay, and another villain. Who is the man in the black with the white part of the mask at the top?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know that one. Never seen him before.
Okay, then do you know who the one with the scarred body
That's purple
is?
all over?
Yeah.
That's Dobby. He has fire powers. I think his fire's blue. I haven't seen any videos where he's actually used it, but I have seen some animatics where they've drawn his fire as blue. He has a fire quirk. He was homeless for a while. He's fairly new to the group, I think, but everyone really likes him, and everyone thinks that he's Toya Todoroki.
Okay, now, throwing a bit of a late-season curveball, who is the blonde-haired person in the middle of these three?
Oh, I've seen those people. Miro, I think. I don't quite remember if that's his name, but I know I've seen him in videos. And I think that if you, like, look at him, he, like his clothes fall off or something like that. It's like, he either turns invisible and, like, phases through things, or his clothes fall off. There's something about him being naked a lot, and people are uncomfortable about it. But it's part of his quirk. I know that it is.
Okay, and can you identify either of the two on the side of him?
I think the one with the dark... They're older students, I know that. The guy with the darker hair, everyone ships him with the other guy. And even though I doubt that's just a fan thing, but I know people ship that. And I think it starts with a T. I've seen him in videos before. Isn't he like kind of afraid of everything and like doesn't really like interacting with people? Like there's one that's really terrified of people and looks kind of like that. So I don't really know his name or her name, but I know that they're all friends, they're older students, and that I don't know her quirk at all, but I am pretty sure that one of them, yeah. That's pretty much all I know about them.
Do you know what their group name is?
No. And
Okay.
no one's ever mentioned one. They're just older kids, I know that.
Okay. And give a rough timeline of what has happened in the show so far that you know of.
Okay.
Only the important stuff.
Well, at the beginning of the show, everyone wants to get into the UA Heroes course, because UA is a high school. I imagine it stands for Ultra Academy, because they say plus Ultra a lot, but I don't know. And everyone wants to get in there. Midoriya's mom doesn't really want him to be a hero, but he's like really wants to be, even though he's quirkless at the time. The thing happens where All Might decides that he's gonna be the successor, he gives his powers to Midoriya, who then is able to get into UA. Bakugo's really surprised by that because he doesn't think that anyone quirkless could get into UA, and also is suspicious why he suddenly has a quirk. But I know that at some point Bakugo gets kidnapped and everyone has to go and save him. There's also a sports festival where everybody fights other people. Kirishima had to fight, I think, Monoma. Someone who... No, not Monoma. He had to fight somebody... Actually, maybe it was Monoma. Someone who could, emulate quirks. And he didn't like it. And then... Deku gave... Deku got pretty far up there, but the last two were Todoroki and Bakugo, and Bakugo ended up winning, but Deku did give Todoroki a pretty big pep talk about how he shouldn't be afraid to use his dad's quirk, because it's his and everything. So he did finally use that fire quirk in that fight, but Bakugo still won. I also know that the fans on YouTube talk a lot about something that's happened in the manga but hasn't happened in the show yet with Hawks, who's a new up-and-coming pro hero.
Yeah, you don't need to go that far.
Yeah.
The manga stuff, I haven't even read the manga, alright, but...
Yeah, but everyone talks about Hawks all the time, so I know about Hawks. Yeah, and I know that All Might, since his powers are gone now, and he's also dying for some reason. I think it has something to do with a wound that he has on his side, I think, in a lot of videos. When I've seen people trying to go back, the teachers going back to when they were young, or suddenly waking up as teenagers or something, they check and it's not there, and he has his powers back again. So I imagine that wound is killing him somehow. Yeah, so sports festival, Bakugo was kidnapped at some point. Todoroki wouldn't use his powers forever. Sometimes they call him Icy Hot. Deku isn't supposed to tell anyone how he got his quirk. And the League is being the League and, trying to destroy them and do all the villain things. Yeah. Ask me any other people, because I know some really random ones.
Alright, who's the man with the bird head?
Tokoyami.
What is his powers?
I imagine his name's Tokoyami. It has something to do with his bird head, I think. Maybe he turns into shadows, though, because I think his hero name has shadow in it somewhere. So, yeah. Tokoyami has a bird head, and that's kind of weird. I think he's in 1B, maybe? Or are they all in 1A? I know that there's different hero courses, and also not everyone at the school is in a hero course.
Okay, who is the girl who has really big hair?
That's Momo Yagarosa, or Yagarozu. I don't know how to say it, but she is another rich kid. She's either president or vice president of student council. She was friends with the Todorokis from when she was young. Her hero costume is rather revealing, and it's just that way because she can, like, if she knows the compound of something, she can pull it out of her skin, which is kind of interesting. Like, that's a really interesting quirk. At least that's my understanding of how it works.
Okay, who's the orange-haired person?
You're gonna call that orange?
It's
well, I mean, it's not
orange.
as platinum as Bakugo's, I guess.
It's not yellow either.
But, yeah, that's Denki Kaminari. He is Pikachu, essentially. He has an electricity quirk, and if he uses it... Well, he's just not very smart in general, but when he uses his quirk, he gets really stupid afterwards. So that's kind of one of the downsides of it. He seems like kind of a, unaware but lovable party guy sort of person that people seem to like.
Okay, who is the girl above Ida?
Is that Jiro? I've never actually seen Jiro before, so I think that's Jiro. She has headphone connector thingies that come out of her ears. Her quirk has something to do with that. People usually portray her as pretty emo, standoffish type of girl. Doesn't kind of edgy. But yeah, I don't know exactly what her powers are, but they have something to do with the audio cords coming out of her ears.
Okay, and then who is the blonde person with the sparkles in his eyes above her?
Was that one Miro? I don't know that one.
Okay, do you know who the person to the right of him is?
No. The only other person I know of in this picture, I think, is that one. He has tape that comes out of his elbows. He's part of the Baku squad sometimes. What was his name? Does it start with a K? I don't remember his name right now. It might come back to me later, but I know that usually people have him hanging out with the Baku squad when he's even around, and that he has tape comes out of his elbows. Yeah.
Okay, and for some random tidbits of knowledge, who is Bakugo's teammate in the first training exercise when he faces off against Deku and Uraraka?
I don't know. No one's ever talked about that incident, but I imagine for plot, it might be either Todoroki because they don't get along, or Kirishima because they're best friends. So I don't know, but those are just my two guesses for when I actually do watch what it would be.
Okay, do you know the name of the 3 UA students who confronted Stain in Hosu City?
Oh, so Stain is a thing. Would they be current students?
Yes.
Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, maybe? I don't know. No one mentioned that event to me.
Okay, and what is the big bird monster looking thing that All Might fights in the first season on the attack on the USJ? He was made to beat All Might, specifically. What was his name?
Well, All Might's power is one for all. So I think that... I know that there's a character called... or at least a power called All for One. So maybe they, reversed his power somehow and created a bird monster out of it, but I've never seen that one in a video, so that's just a guess that it's All for One, maybe.
Okay. Who is the villain that Deku faces off against in Season 3 that pushes him to break his limits while he's trying to protect Koda?
I don't know which one Koda is, but maybe... Well, I don't know that, but I'd guess it's either Shigaraki or Dabi. Because I know Dabi's been more relevant lately, so it might be Dabi, but I don't know.
Okay, what is the name of Deku's new fighting style? The one with his feet that he primarily uses.
No one's ever had him kick anything in a video I've watched, so I don't know. I know a couple other villains, but the...
Just name off the other villains that you know then.
I know that there's Overhaul, who wears a plague mask, but everyone thinks he just looks like a bird. He's an evil scientist, used to be a good scientist, trying to get rid of quirks and cure everyone of their quirk, and that's why he wears the plague mask. I don't know exactly what he does. I think he has one, but I don't exactly know what it is. It might be his intelligence, or he might, like... I don't know what else he would do, but I don't know what his quirk is exactly. But I know he's intelligent, he's a scientist, he's trying to get rid of quirks. I'm pretty sure that the next villain I know, Kirigiri, or Twice, probably recruited him. Twice is blonde. He, divides in half. Like, he has a constant split in his brain. And he's, not the most evil of the League of Villains. He's just kind of, mentally not there. Because he's constantly in tremendous head pain because his quirk's constantly trying to, tear him apart, and he has an identity crisis a lot. And, he really more needs help, but since no one will give him help, he ends up with, he's just with the villains, because that's where he can fit. And they, yeah, so I feel like Twice recruited Overhaul to try and help him get rid of his quirk. At least that's what one of the videos that I watched implied. But I'm not sure if that's even true. But yeah, so I know Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, Twice, and Overhaul. And I know that Overhaul had a little girl, I don't know if it was his actual child, but he had a child with him who he was experimenting on and trying to get rid of her quirk. Her name starts with an E, but I don't remember what it was, and I think she lives with Aizawa now.
Okay, what is Kirishima's special move called?
Oh yeah, they all have those. I don't know what his special move is called. I think his hero name is Red Riot. But, yeah, I don't know what his special move is called.
Okay, and final question. What is Mirio Togata's hero name? It's on his costume.
Which person?
Mirio Togata.
Was that one of the ones we saw earlier? I don't know that one. I haven't seen most of their hero costumes. Usually they just have them in regular dress.
Okay, and something that I wouldn't know most of, what do you think are the top 5 most popular ships in the fandom?
Well, that I know. Well, I don't know the exactly ranking, but I know that there's Bakudeku, Tododeku. Some people ship all 3 together. I don't know if we're going to put that as 3. Yeah. And then there's also a lot of people right now there's also Kiribaku, and that people like a lot. And then another one that people, I know so many ships. I'll probably just put the rest of them on the screen after this is over. But Yeah, a lot of people have been getting on the Shinkami train. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about Shinzo. He didn't start out in the hero program, is now in the hero program. He has purple hair, kind of emo. And if you answer his questions, he can mind control you for a few minutes or seconds. I'm not sure how long he can do it, but for a short period of time, he can control your mind and make you do whatever he wants. So people have been really hopping on the Shinkami train lately. So him and Denki, people ship a lot.
So basically, they're all gay.
Yeah, everyone. And the only ship that like has any canon backing for it is like Deku and Uraka, and no one cares about that one. But yeah, people ship so many things. There's also, yeah, I'll just throw the rest of the ones that I know of on screen. I'm not sure if all of them are actually supported or just have been in a video that someone did once. But yeah, Baku Deku, Todo Deku are very, very popular and very people debate a lot. And then basically, if you like Todo Deku, then you like Kiribaku because you want them to be together. Yeah, also some people ship Sue and Ochako and think that's kind of cute. So like, I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of ships. So many ships. Pretty much everyone.
Okay,
is in
and
ships.
what?
Oh yeah. Also, Todoroki's dad's hero name is Endeavor. Yeah.
What are you most hoping to learn about when you watch My Hero?
Well, I always am into the villains, so learning about more different villains would be fun and their backstories. I also just kind of am really interested to see how the characters actually are, because I've seen them be portrayed a lot by fans of the show online. And, you know, I feel like once I watch the show, I'll be more in on the joke. And I'll be able to see if they are doing them accurately, like personality-wise or not, despite whatever ships might be going on. But yeah, I'm also want to see how they manage to kidnap someone who has explosion powers. And also kind of learn more about the lore and how the system, like the outside, like the system works, because I know heroes have to get certified, and like the fact that Shigaraki exists, like, and you know, there must be some jail that can hold him in theory, but like he has that quirk where if he touches anything, you know, it'll just disappear. So I imagine that they don't just have a bunch of people with a similar quirk as Aizawa sit in jail and watch the villains for the whole time. But so like seeing how that sort of side of the system works is going to be interesting. Yeah, I also know that the heroes aren't allowed to kill anyone, and that's a problem a lot of the time. I also think that All Might's old sidekick is evil. I think his name is David Spade, but I don't know much about him. So that'll be interesting to, you know, see. I also am looking forward to more of like seeing. I feel like I'm gonna really like Aizawa, so I'm excited to actually see him, you know, as he's meant to be seen in the show. So I'm interested to see who's gonna end up being my favorites and how the lore of the world works and everything. So, you know, I'm excited for most of it, to be honest.
Okay, and the last question, sub or dub?
Dub.
Alright.
Yeah, I know that that's not going to be everyone's favorite, but I want to listen to it in English.
Alright, that'll be all.
Alright. Well, thanks everybody for watching. This has been She Never Misses and my brother. And we're going to go watch My Hero Academia now.